I didn't know. I want deep quiet inside, especially in the presence of others. And I want the capacity to listen deeply, truly, madly, and deeply listen.
Great. Let's take a breath. You stay in my eyes. Let's take a breath into that. Well, I'm going to close my eyes now, into that deep quiet where we share stillness and nothing else. Take 30 seconds down here. And now, coming back, let's take a few breaths through my eyes into the stillness. Deep, deep stillness. And taking your mirror, and I'll take mine. Let's spend about 30 seconds in our mirrors, in your mirror, just being in the stillness through our eyes that we can sense down, down, down. And staying in your mirror. Let's do a 5-minute turn for you. Starting in the mirror, moving to the screen in my eyes and back whenever. And see what that rich, deep stillness is telling you about how to have more of it or all of it, starting with the breath. Starting now.
It's showing me like a spreading out, like a base becoming wider, like on a pedestal sink, and the base just gets bigger, like a pyramid. And I can kind of feel something in the middle of my back doing something like that, extending outward and backwards and down. And it's like something shows like a little tangled up bit of thread, like but in 3 dimensions, kind of settling onto that base. And there's a feeling in me of settling, like I'm that there's something in me that is like that tangled up piece of thread. And I notice that when I do mirror work with you, we've done it a couple times, it feels different than when I look to do it myself. There's a greater richness or something. I feel calmer. Something about that pings the part of my sort of declaration of intention that involved feeling calm in the deeply calm and quiet in the presence of others or another. It's coming like there's reassurance that's possible from someone else or even just the presence of another. It's not there when I'm really just on my own. Sorry, I know you just rested back. Yeah, I guess I'm starting to realize I need people in a way that, in a different way than I've understood before. You know, there's something that comes in me that starts to worry, like, I don't know what's going on the other side. So I'm noticing that in a different way also. I think in the past, that's been, I'd rather avoid that and choose, like, the lesser evil was to just be alone. Yeah, there's something in me that worries about what's, I guess, something in me that sort of expects criticism. Okay. So I'm thinking you, I'm thinking me.
Thank you, Hope. So Hope, take a minute in the mirror and see what the worry is about. Starting with a breath. Starting now.
Just sort of noticing there's a lot of something going on. So I'm just waiting with it. So one part of it is like a little kid who just wants approval. It's really uncertain, doesn't know how to tell, looks to the adult figures for confirmation, verification, whole feeling of I need verification, I need confirmation. Tell me, help me discern.
Finish up.
Okay,
Stay with yourself now.
thank you.
Stay with yourself. And I want to give you another minute where I'm going to mute you and see what comes through when nobody's listening but yourself. So I'm muting you now, 1 minute, starting with a breath, starting now. Finish up and bid adieu to yourself. Give yourself a goodbye and come back and unmute and be in my eyes and just tell me what the difference was when when you weren't being heard by anyone.
There was a sense of safety. It's like that part came right out to tell me, like it flowed pretty freely. Yeah, I guess I want to say it out loud because I'll forget it. I know I won't know later what I said. And what came was, I almost forgot. Hang on. I just want to feel sure I belong. And I'm looking outside myself for confirmation and assurance that that's true.
Thank you. So this wanting to make sure you belong and looking for it out there, I'd like you to have a conversation with yourself in the mirror. Would you rather, well, we'll keep it, I won't mute you, so you'll be able to hear what you said. See,
So I can have it later.
it might be 2 minutes. I really want you to have a conversation about that and see where that might lead you to explore more of this. So reporting to your mirror, greeting yourself again. 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, starting with a breath in conversation with yourself about this.
I just really get the dilemma of not being sure you belong. And I really get how it's a real thing that being accepted by other people is like in their, it's theirs, it's in their area, and that it's the feedback or something from them that builds the web that connects the threads of connecting fibers. And I'm also seeing now there's kind of a discernment detection piece that maybe I don't have well developed that would let me recognize acceptance. Um, because it might be there. And maybe the thing is I just don't know how to tell. And so I'm feeling a an affinity, a kinship between the me I feel here and the me I see there. And actually now I'm sort of receiving something from the eyes of the me in the reflection. Kind of like I what I see in the reflection is actually what I'm putting out, and there's no contradicting that. Like there's no debating that. So some about that is kind of landing. Because I see caring and vulnerability and not having that negative judgment part of me that sometimes looks at me in the mirror and doesn't like what is seen. I just see a person over there in the mirror.
Finish up.
Okay.
Just,
Thank you.
yes, staying in the mirror now. Okay. Knowing that you have the answers within you. What's the answer to this possible dilemma about what you need or think you need from others about belonging? What's the truth that you can share with yourself?
Well,
and by the way, it's okay to close your eyes sometimes in the mirror.
Can I? Because I want to sometimes. Well, the word trust came right away. And then there was like doubt and uncertainty. The word trust, like, as a message and as like a, some deep film voice, is there. And yeah, and I'm sensing like something in me like squirming, but I'm so scared. How do I do that? And it's like, don't worry about it. Like, it's sort of like the act as if thing, but it's not. So there's sort of like this back and forth thing of like trust and something saying, so I suppose as a deep knowing, there's something about trust is offered and presented. And some level, there's something in me that's just so scared and so squirmy. And actually, it's coming to me now to refer back to our earlier process video we made about turbulence. And yeah, somehow that seems relevant here. Or it wants to be included. I don't really fully get connect all the dots.
Is there more right now, or is there a resting place?
I think it's a resting place now.
Okay, so bid adieu to yourself in the mirror and come back to my eyes.
Okay.
So Hope, there's been a shift, but you won't be aware of it until you have an experience with a group. Fortunately, you've got one coming up Saturday.
Saturday.
You also have an inner wisdom listening circle on Thursday.
That's right. That's right.
And if you wish, I just got word before this call that a space opened up if you want to come to the Wednesday 1 p.m. Pacific Circle.
Oh, let's do it because I want to take every opportunity right now to reinforce and support what's coming.
So you're going to sign up for that. Good. So you'll notice the shift. You won't have to think about it. You won't have to do anything about it. You're just happen to be in a different place with yourself vis-a-vis others through what you've done, through the work you've done here. So don't work at it. Don't work on it. Just notice what happens.
Okay.
So,
I'm just going to roll with it.
Roll with it. So let's take 3 minutes. You still have about eight minutes. What would you like to do? Would you like to, what would you like to do now to complete this time?
Can we just hang out and look this way for a bit?
Sure.
Can you give me your eyes? And maybe
Absolutely.
something will come.
Perfect.
We'll do 3 minutes for now and check in.
Okay, we'll do 3 minutes and it could be silent the whole time if you want. Or words may come starting now.
Kind of like being in the experience of being seen and seeing and being seen. Feels okay. At some level, but it feels a little bit more like at the surface and not so important to make real. There's a curiosity about what you've noticed, and I'm gonna just hang out with allowing that to be what it is for now, and maybe I'll ask you about it later. So maybe I'm asking you to remember, but not tell me for right now. A whole bunch is coming right now around my need for people and ways I've been trying to do it alone, and I've been isolating and trying to do something alone. Just and it's like circular in there, like keeps looping back in on itself, and I'm just seeing something about all that without fully understanding it. Something about that. Really feeling grateful for your support and the presence and the practice. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to say something about something you said earlier about when you do the mirror work alone, it's different or not as powerful as when you do it with me. And it's because the listening of somebody else really makes it realer. And what you might try when you play back this video is when you're in the mirror in the video, look in the mirror.
Like look straight?
Look into the mirror. Like when you're listening to the video
Oh, look in the mirror.
and you're talking to the mirror in the video, look in your mirror and listen to yourself through your eyes.
I see. I
In other words,
understand.
so it'll sound like your words are coming from
Mirror.
your inner, it's your inner dialogue.
Huh.
And you get to experience your inner dialogue, which you can identify with, and it's coming in stereo. Just a little interesting way to, and sometimes when I do this with groups, I suggest that people, when someone else is talking into their mirror, look into your mirror and listen to them through your eyes. And we start to see that other people's inner dialogue is often very, we can identify with. It's almost the same inner dialogue. Or as they
That's
would
probably,
say,
that's got to be a really profound experience.
as the person who was speaking at my spiritual community here in Mexico this morning, that did you ever hear the name Joel Goldsmith?
No.
Unity person from the 1950s. And he was saying, the things we're thinking are not our thoughts. They're in the air and it's just everybody's thoughts.
Wow.
It's almost like we're all picking up the same, and sometimes we realize they're just going through. We don't have to identify with them as ours. It's a little possibility.
Wow.
Something like that.
Thank you.
So
No, it's really something.
take a final minute in the mirror to see what you're coming away with. If there's a next step, something you want to remind yourself of, completion with yourself, starting with a breath, starting now.
I'm just noticing there's a quality of feeling that I would say I'm noticing there's a difference. I don't think I can describe it, but it's sort of like I'm having an agreement that that's there. And something about what you just said about everybody's having the same inner process experience and the possibility of not taking it personally. And I'm appreciating that not taking it personally feels like, or some acknowledgement that not taking it personally is like maybe something that's really hard or not obvious. Like, how would you not take it personally given the way it's experienced, right? So there's this acknowledgement of that going on here, and then of course in your responses, as you're included in a part of this conversation or this experience.
Well, Hope, when you're laughing with yourself in the mirror, that's, I think, the highest form of communication with yourself. When you can laugh with yourself in the mirror, let it be, let it go, let it carry on, let it expand if it wants to, because the truth is, there's a big joke happening. And this is humanity. We share it, with each other.
Oh yeah, it's reminding me about something that happened one time with my kids and the laughing thing.
Tell me
Thank you,
into my,
Lee. I'll tell you
good.
another time. Yeah.
Oh, good. You could tell me in my eyes if you want to.
Can I?
Okay.
All right. Well, my kids were crying. Like, first the one was just, just shy of a panic attack and a wreck. And I was holding him and trying to help give him a base. And then I turned to my daughter and I was like, look, this thing we're hoping to do, I just don't see us making it, like, with this going on. And so then she's just, and so I got them both, and it's shredding me. And then soon I'm just crying because it's so hard, right? And here we all are together at our absolute end. And I don't know, a little bit into that, suddenly I start laughing because the whole thing is just so fun. Like, it's like, what else can we do but laugh?
When we see truth, the real truth, sometimes it's just hysterical. So
It's so awful. Like, look at us, here we are. This is just like awful, and we're all in it.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy working with you, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lee. Bye bye for
Bye-bye.
now.
Take care.
Bye.